We don't talk nearly enough about how Mike Huckabee is a total psychopath. He's now the U.S. ambassador to Israel. I remember when he ran for president in 2008, and he actually did pretty good in the Republican primary. I mean, obviously he didn't win, but he was like one of the top 3 or 4 candidates out of a shitload of them that were running. And he very famously said, we need to replace the Constitution with God's law and the Bible. This is who we're talking about here. When I tell you he's a true Kool-Aid drinking, fundamentalist evangelical Christian, I mean it. I mean, this guy is waiting for the rapture to happen, waiting for Jesus to come down on a winged horse. He actually believes in end times, all this crazy shit. That's what he's about. That's what he's about. Just total religious psychopath is what he is. Well, Trump gave him position, U.S. ambassador to Israel, and super disturbing because, like I said, magical thinking from a guy who's now the ambassador to a country that's committing a genocide live streamed in 4K. And naturally, he doesn't give a shit because according to biblical prophecy, Israel needs to take more of the land and create greater Israel in order for Jesus to come down on the winged horse and then kill most of the Jews and have others, change religions to become Christian to then make it to heaven. So he's like, shit, kill as many Palestinians as you want. I don't give a fuck. Here he does an interview and he says quiet part out loud after quiet part out loud, and he doesn't stop saying the quiet parts out loud. Let's watch and then we'll talk about it.
Is there a scripture verse, for example, Ambassador, that might encapsulate or define your task that you have here?
I think it is Genesis 12:3. God will bless those who bless Israel, and he will curse those who curse Israel. Now, I have many verses of Scripture. Philippians 4:13 is my favorite personal verse. That was the transformative verse of my life as a teenager. But as far as my job here, my role, my day-to-day activity, it never is lost on me that the United States of America should want to have God's blessing, not his curse. And we can have one or the other, but we can't have both. And if we want his blessing, we will bless Israel. If we don't want his blessing and are willing to accept a curse, then we will curse Israel. We must make the choice.
So if you followed what he just said, he basically came out as Israel first. That's what he's saying. He said, God blesses those who bless Israel. And he defines that as never disagreeing with Israel, never saying no to Israel, keeping the money and the weapons flowing, backing them no matter what they do, even when they're in violation of international law, and putting their middle finger up to the entire UN. That's what he just described. He said the most important Bible verse is God blesses those who bless Israel. And he views blessing Israel as giving them anything and everything they want as far as the eye can see. This guy, he literally, Mike Huckabee, was hanging out with, I forget the guy's name. Is it something Pollard? Correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comment section below. But he was hanging out with this guy who was a literal Israeli spy who had infiltrated the U.S. government. And he was found guilty. And he went to prison. But Mike Huckabee, now he's out of prison, Mike Huckabee was hanging out with him at some government building. Here you have somebody who is literally a traitor and a spy for Israel, a foreign country, and you're buddy-buddy with him as you say, I put Israel over America. Guys, he's not going to make rational foreign policy choices. He's not this is not a guy who cares about international law, human rights, morality, justice. This is not a guy who's trying to create a long-term peaceful world. This is a guy who wants Israel to have all the money and all the power and create a greater Israel and wipe the Palestinians off the map so his fake God can come back and usher in end times where he thinks he gets to go to heaven. Well, I got bad news for you, Mike Huckabee. If your God is real, you ain't getting to heaven, bitch. I love these Christian Zionists, right, who, again, seem to care more about Israel than the U.S., and to them, it's Israel's the end-all be-all. To them, it's the most important country ever. To them, it's all about this Bible verse that Mike Huckabee said, God blesses those who bless Israel, so you can't disagree with Israel in any way, shape, or form. And so that's how you get somebody who nominally follows Jesus to say, oh, I don't even care that you were just caught shooting Palestinians in the face with snipers. I don't even care that you were caught shooting innocent people who were waving white flags, literally waving the white flag, and they got murdered. I don't even care that you bombed hospitals and schools and UN buildings and World Central Kitchen workers. I don't even care that you did collective punishment and cut off the food, fuel, the water, and the electricity for millions of people, even though there's only 30 or 40,000 Hamas members. I don't even care. I don't even care about that. So we are led by psychopaths. Like all the shit that you hear them say about like the Taliban, right? Oh my God, they're religious psychopaths. Look at how they treat women. Look at how they're too doctrinaire with Islam. Like Mike Huckabee is the Christian Taliban. He is. And it's that interpretation, that philosophy that's leading him to back this absolutely genocidal regime that's creating the Fourth Reich. Like Trump is creating the Fourth Reich and Netanyahu is creating the Fourth Reich. And they'll overlook the corruption. They'll overlook the mass murder. They'll overlook the torture. They'll overlook all that because, hey, God blesses those who bless Israel. So who am I to disagree with them ever? That's like disagreeing with God. He's basically saying God has greenlit anything and everything Israel does, and I'm here to serve Israel. He's Israel first. He's not America first. How can you get an America first foreign policy out of this guy? You can't. His religion makes it so that he simply doesn't view the U.S. as consequential as Israel is. He just doesn't. And some of the most insane Zionists in the country are the Christian Zionists. The ones who, again, say, oh, I'll back them no matter what the fuck they do because it's existential. It's religious to me. It has nothing to do with earthly morality, right? It's got nothing to do with humanitarianism. I don't give a fuck about humanitarianism. I care about getting to heaven, right? That's how these people think, man. That's how these people think. And we are way too comfortable and way too used to people like this being in positions of power. When this motherfucker needs some Thorazine and a straitjacket and to never be in a position of power ever again, he's not fit to fucking manage an Arby's. Never mind be U.S. ambassador to Israel.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.